When I buy a coffee, I expect to enjoy every last drop. The same should go for my new printer, right? After all, I paid for it. But why does it always feel like I'm getting less? As if someone designed it to break down just after the warranty expires. Does it really have to be this way? Has it always been like this? And, more importantly, do manufacturers even have a choice to do the right thing? In the early days of manufacturing, producing long-lasting, durable products was the cornerstone of success. Take Thomas Edison, for example. When he invented the light bulb, he didn't settle for a fleeting spark. He struggled for years, constantly refining his invention until he could produce a bulb that would last. It wasn't just about getting the light to work, it was about making sure it kept working for as long as possible. Edison's dedication to durability wasn't just a personal ambition, it was what the market demanded. It wasn't just Edison, either. Companies like Ford, which revolutionized the automobile industry with the Model T, built their reputation on durability and reliability. In fact, Henry Ford once said, "I will build a motor car for the great multitude." And part of that promise was a car that would stand the test of time, built tough enough to last on the unpaved roads of early America. Consumers at the time expected their products to last. Whether it was a car, an appliance, or a piece of machinery, the idea was that you bought something that would serve you for years, even decades. Companies competed on quality and longevity, and a longer-lasting product meant satisfied customers and repeat business through word of mouth. It was a time when durability equaled trust, and trust was the key to success. But something changed. During the Great Depression of the 1930s, economic hardship forced industries to reconsider how to keep the economy afloat. Initially, companies focused on producing high-quality, durable goods to attract long-term customers. However, as the world entered the post-war boom of the 1950s, the mindset began to shift. The quest for comfort, convenience, and modern living drove a surge in consumer demand for the latest innovations. As industries grew and competition intensified, the focus shifted once again. Instead of creating products that lasted, manufacturers realized that making items with shorter lifespans could generate more consistent revenue. This shift was especially apparent after World War II, when consumer culture exploded, and companies began focusing on rapid product cycles to drive sales. The mindset shifted from, "How can we make this last forever?" to, "How can we ensure people keep buying more?" Planned obsolescence became a strategic approach. Companies were no longer incentivized to create durable, long-lasting products. Instead, products were designed to fail or become obsolete after a certain period, forcing consumers to purchase replacements. One of the clearest examples of this is the light bulb industry. In the early 20th century, the Phoebus Cartel, a group of major light bulb manufacturers, agreed to limit the lifespan of light bulbs to around 1,000 hours, even though technology at the time allowed for much longer-lasting bulbs. This deliberate reduction in product lifespan became a model for other industries. In sectors like electronics, planned obsolescence became especially prevalent. Rapid technological advancements meant that slightly outdated devices would quickly become unusable or incompatible with newer systems. From smartphones that slow down after a few years to washing machines with built-in fragility, this tactic has become a standard business strategy, shaping the way modern consumers interact with their products. What happened next was the widespread adoption of planned obsolescence across various industries. As the mid-20th century progressed, the concept became a standard business model. This practice wasn't limited to light bulbs or electronics. It spread to industries like fashion, appliances, and even automobiles. In the 1950s and 60s, marketing and advertising played a significant role in shaping consumer behavior. The idea of keeping up with trends became ingrained in society. Companies began releasing new models of products every year, not because of significant improvements, but simply to encourage consumers to upgrade. As this trend continued, many consumers began to recognize the pattern. Some industries faced backlash for producing goods with intentional short lifespans, while others continued to push forward with rapid product cycles. Today, this concept remains an integral part of the modern economy, with products often designed to fail just in time for the next model release. While it's easy to point fingers at manufacturers for planned obsolescence, the truth is more nuanced. The drive for shorter product life cycles isn't just a corporate strategy. It's also deeply influenced by customer demand and regulatory standards. In fact, a big part of the blame could be shifted toward consumers themselves and the stringent safety regulations we expect. Let's unpack this. In today's fast-paced world, people crave the newest gadgets, sleekest designs, and the latest features. Consumers want devices that are faster, lighter, and more advanced, whether it's smartphones, laptops, or even cars. Companies respond to this demand by constantly innovating, but it comes at a cost. Many products, particularly tech, are built with shorter lifespans to make way for the next upgrade. And in a world where people line up for hours to get the latest phone release, can we really blame manufacturers for keeping up with demand? Think about it. Would people really buy a phone designed to last 10 years if it meant being stuck with the same technology for a decade? In this way, planned obsolescence isn't just a corporate tactic. It's the result of our collective need for novelty and progress. Regulations are put in place to ensure that products are safe, efficient, and environmentally friendly. While these rules are crucial, they often push companies to redesign products more frequently, leading to shorter lifespans. For example, stricter emissions standards in the automotive industry force car manufacturers to produce new, more fuel-efficient models regularly. From new safety requirements for electronics to stricter environmental standards for appliances, the constant update of regulations often compels companies to discontinue older, durable products in favor of more modern, compliant versions. As much as these regulations are necessary, they indirectly contribute to the need for products with limited lifespans. A faster product cycle can also support job creation and stimulate economic growth. Frequent product releases drive sales, which in turn helps keep production lines active, ensuring jobs in manufacturing, sales, and marketing. Planned obsolescence, from this view, keeps the economy dynamic and growing. Believe it or not, there are benefits to this cycle. Constant innovation leads to the creation of better, more efficient products. Each iteration comes with improvements, whether it's a more powerful processor, better energy efficiency, or enhanced safety features. This drive to keep products fresh ensures that society as a whole benefits from cutting-edge technology and advancements that make life more convenient and connected. Planned obsolescence also creates a highly competitive marketplace, forcing companies to innovate, keep prices in check, and introduce better designs at a faster pace. It's why we've seen the explosion of smartphone tech, and why we have energy-efficient appliances in nearly every home. Creating products with extremely long lifespans would often require the use of expensive materials and extensive testing, which would drive up production costs. Manufacturers argue that by designing products with a reasonable lifespan, they can offer more affordable options to consumers. For instance, a phone designed to last 10 years would likely be significantly more expensive than one with a 3 to 5 year lifespan. Another surprising upside of planned obsolescence: positive impact on developing countries. As customers in wealthier nations seek out the latest and greatest, their slightly older devices often end up being resold or donated to countries with fewer resources. These second-hand goods, which are often still in excellent condition, provide access to technology that might otherwise be unaffordable. For example, a used smartphone might end up in a developing nation where it's still considered cutting edge. This helps close the digital divide, giving more people access to modern technologies without the hefty price tag. The result? A global marketplace where planned obsolescence helps distribute tech across the world, benefiting both consumers and economies at various stages of development. So, in a way, the rapid cycle of product lifespans has created a more connected world where competition drives innovation, and developing countries benefit from affordable access to modern tech. In the end, it's not just the manufacturers pushing for obsolescence, it's our own thirst for something newer, shinier, and better, combined with ever-changing regulations that push the boundaries of what's possible. Despite these advantages, the effects of planned obsolescence aren't without their downsides. While consumers benefit from constant innovation and a competitive marketplace, there's a growing cost both financially and environmentally that cannot be ignored. Environmental impact. The shorter lifespan of products means more waste. Electronics, appliances, and other items that are designed to be replaced frequently often end up in landfills. This contributes to a growing e-waste problem, where discarded gadgets leak toxic substances like lead and mercury into the environment. Even when products are recycled, the process itself consumes significant energy and resources. As consumers, we're buying more but discarding faster, and that relentless cycle contributes to a greater environmental footprint. The question then arises, is the convenience of constant innovation worth the long-term cost to the planet? Consumer fatigue and financial strain. Constantly having to replace products, especially expensive ones like smartphones, can lead to consumer fatigue. Some people feel like they're trapped in a never-ending cycle of upgrades, forced to spend more money to keep up with the latest tech trends. For many, especially in times of economic uncertainty, the financial burden of continually replacing products can be overwhelming. It's one thing to want the newest features, but another when companies strategically phase out older models by making them incompatible with new software or accessories. This leaves consumers with little choice but to upgrade. So, is planned obsolescence eroding our freedom to choose how long we keep our products? There's also an ethical debate around the practice of planned obsolescence. Some argue that it's a form of exploitation, manipulating consumers to spend more and more by making products that are designed to fail or become outdated. While this approach benefits companies and drives economic growth, it raises questions about whether manufacturers have a responsibility to prioritize sustainability and consumer rights over profits. In this light, planned obsolescence can be seen not as an inevitable part of technological progress, but as a deliberate strategy that plays on our desires and creates artificial needs. The balance between innovation and exploitation is a thin one, and it begs the question, where do we draw the line? So while planned obsolescence may keep the wheels of innovation turning, it comes with significant challenges that we cannot overlook. Consumers are paying more, the planet is suffering, and ethical concerns are mounting. The next big question is, can we find a middle ground? A way to embrace progress without the waste, fatigue, and moral compromise. So how do we handle this double-edged sword? The challenge of balancing innovation with sustainability requires a multifaceted approach. While planned obsolescence drives progress, it also fuels waste, inequality, and exploitation. So how do we manage this paradox? Encourage responsible consumption. As consumers, we have a role to play. Choosing products based on durability rather than just novelty can send a powerful message to manufacturers. Companies are driven by demand, and if we begin to prioritize longevity and sustainability over short-term upgrades, they'll be incentivized to create products that last longer and reduce waste. Repairability and upgradability are key factors to consider when purchasing electronics, appliances, or even clothing. Making stronger regulations for manufacturers. Governments and regulators can push for stricter guidelines that curb the extremes of planned obsolescence. By requiring manufacturers to design products with longer lifespans or better repair options, such as making replacement parts widely available, we can extend the life cycle of many consumer goods. Some countries are already experimenting with right-to-repair laws, which give consumers the ability to fix their products instead of being forced to replace them entirely. Innovative business models. Some companies are rethinking their approach. Instead of making products that need replacing every year, they're focusing on circular economies, designing products that can be refurbished, recycled, or upgraded over time. These models benefit both the consumer and the environment, and as they become more common, they'll offer a solution to the current cycle of constant replacement. Sustainability and profit can coexist. While planned obsolescence has proven to be a profitable strategy, there's growing evidence that sustainability can be equally lucrative. Brands that focus on creating eco-friendly products and reducing their carbon footprint are gaining popularity, especially among younger consumers who are more environmentally conscious. Companies that adapt to this shift stand to benefit from brand loyalty and long-term profitability. Embrace innovation with caution. Finally, as technology continues to evolve, it's essential that we embrace innovation wisely. The quest for new features and faster upgrades should be tempered by an awareness of the broader implications on our wallets, the planet, and our collective future. Technological advancements should make our lives better, but they should also contribute to a sustainable world. In conclusion, handling this double-edged sword requires both individual action and systemic change. By encouraging responsible consumption, enforcing regulations, and pushing for business models that value sustainability, we can create a future where innovation doesn't come at the expense of the planet or our finances. The power lies with us to demand a balance, a world where progress and responsibility go hand in hand.